So today we'll be doing an example in JavaFX. We'll be creating a push button so you can push it and it's going to tell you how many times you pushed it. So we'll first start with writing the class, so public class main, and we'll say extends application. We'll open a square bracket and then we'll import that, Alt-Shift-Enter. So import JavaFX.application.application. And then here we'll just create our start method, so public void start. It's going to take a stage and then primary stage. Open square bracket again. So here we'll create some stuff, so we'll create our stage. Private stage, primary stage. Import that, so import JavaFX.stage.stage. If you're using IntelliJ, you can just hit Alt, Shift, and Enter if you hover above it. And then we'll import, we'll create an int, so it's a private int, and then count to keep track of how many times we're going to push it. And then we'll create a text object, so private text. We'll call it count text. We'll import text too. If you're doing it from IntelliJ, it's going to ask you which one you want to import, so just use the arrow keys and then hit enter. So here we'll set stage equal to, we'll say this dot stage, this dot primary stage. We'll set it equal to primary stage. Then we'll set count equal to 0. And we'll say count text equals to a new text object. And we're just going to say it's going to contain a string pushes. And then 0. Still in the string. So it's just a string. Did I spell this wrong? Yeah. So just count text with a lowercase c. Then we'll create a button here, so button push equals new button. And then when you do that, the button takes what you want it to be called. Unless you're putting like a picture or something else, like a moving picture or whatever. So like an interactive kind of thing. So we'll just put push. We'll just say push me on the button. Push me exclamation. Then we'll have to import button too. Sorry, usually I do it at first, but I'll just do it this time. About like this way. So button push equals new button. So we created a button, and then we'll say push. We'll call the set on action method. So push dot set on action. And we'll say this dot process button press. So we'll create the process button press right now. So we'll say public void, we'll create a new method below these square brackets here. We'll create a method public void, so it's a void return type. We'll call it process button press. And it'll take a parameter ActionEvent event. You can call it, you don't have to call it event. You can call it like E if you want or whatever. We'll have to import the event to ActionEvent. Not the AWT one. Make sure you do the JavaFX one, and then we'll just, so when you click the button, what's going to happen is the count variable is going to increment by 1. Then we'll set count text, and we'll set the text to pushes plus count. So the push is going to stay the same, and then count's going to change, so it's just going to update. Instead of the 0, it's just going to say pushes. The 0 is going to, we're going to actually just start showing the actual count variable. It's going to change, so it's just going to update automatically. We won't have to change the string every time. So we'll just write this out again. So here, after we create our button, we're going to call the setOnAction method. So we're going to say the button that we created, setOnAction. So the action for a button is you can push it. So every time you push the button, we're going to call this semicolon semicolon process button press. So the method that we just created, which is going to increment count by 1 and set the text to the new string. So we'll create a FlowPane. So FlowPane, pane equals new FlowPane. Then we'll put our button inside. Actually, sorry, no, we'll put our, we'll put our button inside. And beside the button, we'll put the text object, count text. And then we'll input FlowPane. So FlowPane pane equals new FlowPane push and then count text. Then we'll set the alignment of the FlowPane. So pane dot and then we'll call the setAlignment method. We'll say setAlignment pane dot center. Oh, sorry, not pane. POS dot center. We'll have to import geometry dot POS. Whoops. Geometry dot POS, and then we'll set the H gap, the horizontal gap. So we'll say pane dot set H gap to 20 pixels. And then here we'll set the color. Actually, we can set it to like 21 pixels. Just a random number. And then we'll set the background color to so we're going to set the background color of this window, not through the constructor of the scene. So this time we'll use something another way. So we'll call pane.set style, and it's like a completely different framework than what Java is used to. So it's like in quotations dash fx dash background dash color semicolon with shift and then whatever color. So we'll just say like yellow, or no, what's a good color? Like blue. Or maybe there's like a gray, right, for like a Windows kind of style. See if that works. Then we'll say we'll call scene. Actually, we'll create a scene object. Scene equals new scene. We'll pass in our pane for the root node, and we'll set the pixels. So we'll set it to be let's just say 250 by 175 pixels, so 250 wide and 175 down. And we'll import scene, so just hit Alt Shift and Enter. And we'll set our primary stage. Primary stage dot set title push button window. Well, you can don't have to say window, but I guess it is a window, so we'll just say window because the button's in a window. So then we'll say primary stage dot set scene. And we'll pass in scene, and then primary stage dot show. We'll display it. Save that. And then under all that, under the method, under the event handler, here we'll call the public static void method. Public static void main string array args. We'll pass in launch and then args. Save it. Whoops. Save that. And then run it. And then you should see it in your window. It should be the push button. It should pop up somewhere in a new window, so it's not going to be in the command line. It's going to be a little window. It's gray. It's going to say push me on it, and then pushes beside it. Every time you push it, it's going to increase a number. It's going to keep incrementing. That may be a little bit too big for that window, so I'll close it. And we'll change it to 175 by 175 pixels by 125. Try that. Yeah, so now you'll see it might be a little bit too small, but you'll see it. You can drag it. You can change the size of it. You can minimize it, maximize, and close it. You can push it. So that's the code, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.